Hi guys, Samantha from Jessama Tutorials here, and today we're going to do a fun project that involves mokume gane and a stencil. So I'm going to be working with souffle clay today. You can use any brand that you want. I'm just using souffle because I like the colours. And we're just going to be stacking these colours up together. Okay. And I've cut them into the right proportions already. And I'm working with about 1/8 of a 2-ounce block. I think it's 2-ounce block. I'm working about 1/8 of a block of souffle for each of the colours. Now I'm going to run that through so that we can cut it and stack it. I'm running it through a pasta machine. Okay, and there we go. We've thinned it out a fair bit. Then I'm going to just cut off this edge bit here and here. And I'm going to cut it into about 3. And then I will just stack it like before. Okay, and we'll just cut off this wide bit. Okay, then I'm going to bring over a piece of black, which was also rolled out on my thinnest setting of my pasta machine, and I'm going to pop that onto the red side because I'm going to try to kind of get the effect of lava with this mokume gane. Then I'm just going to trim off those edges, and then we're going to run this through the pasta machine again one final time, and then we can work with the stencil and create our mokume gane. So I'll take that and I'll run that through again. Okay, there we go. Now I've kept this fairly thick still. It's probably about 2/3 of the thickness it was before. And now I'm going to just grab a stencil. Let's see. I'll go with the smaller pattern. And I'm just going to burnish that on. It's important that you burnish it on as hard as you can, because the stencil is going to be what we're going to use to create our mokume gane. So you want it on there firmly, like so. Okay, then I'm going to bring over a sculpting tool, like one of these. And now of course feel free to use a stamp if you want to. That is also perfectly fine. It's just that I don't have a stamp like this. And this is quite a cool technique to learn, so just thought I'd show you. I'm actually going to be using this one. Okay, and I'm just going to dip it into the stencil there. Like so. And just make sure you clean it out each time. There we go. And I'm just going to try to clean up this one. There we go. And so you get an interesting gouged effect. You can't really get the same effect with a stamp. You can get a cool effect with a stamp, but it's not quite the same. So then I'm just swapping through different sizes. And I'm just going to continue doing this until I have covered the entire stencil. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to lift that up. Okay, and now you have two options. You can either leave it exactly the way it is and keep the texture, or you can do what I'm going to do and flatten it out. And what I'll actually do before I burnish it is I'll go in with my finger and just start flattening it like that, so that we don't get so that it's easier to burnish flat with the paper, because if you start burnishing it immediately with the paper and the texture being this deep, you'll find that the black just generally takes over. So I'm just going to do the majority of that with my finger, and then we can flatten it out with paper. You can also run it through the pasta machine if you wish, but you'll find that the texture or pattern does distort quite a bit, and so I generally prefer to just flatten it this way. Okay, then we're going to flatten it out and just continue burnishing until it's nice and flat. There we go. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring over a cabochon mold, which is what I'm going to be using to mold this. And I'm just going to gently work this in. And I'm going to bring over some of the leftovers that I had from sculpting it. And I'm just going to work that into a sausage. Like so. We can use that to stuff it in a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to fold this over, so you can use that to fill it as well. There we go. And then I'm just going to press this until I get it nice and filled, and you can see how it looks on the back side there. It's going to look quite nice. So just continue pressing until you've got a somewhat even surface, and then we're going to cut away the excess. Okay, and there we go. And this should look nice and smooth from that side as well, which it does. And I'm going to bring over a blade, and I'm very carefully going to start cutting through. Okay. And I'm going to leave a little excess, and then I'm going to press it again. Now I'll actually bring over a piece of paper and just burnish it. And you can see by using the mokume gane pieces that we're hanging over the side, we've got quite a nice looking back as well. And now I'm not going to cut off anymore, I don't think. I think I will do that once I get it out of the mold. Generally I like to do that. Okay. And I think I'm going to texture the back as well, so that we don't have to worry about sanding. I've just got this sponge, and I'll texture the back with that. I'll just try to make sure that that's nice and even the whole way around. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to gently work around these sides. And you can continue trimming if you want, if you don't want to do the trimming once you've got out the mold, but generally I find that it's easier to do once it's out of the mold, and there's no risk in trimming too much off. There we go. Put that down. Okay, I'm just smoothing it flat, and then I'm going to bring over a tissue blade. Correction, craft knife. And I'm actually just going to smooth around the side. I'm not even going to cut just yet, because a lot of this you can just smooth into the side, like so. Okay, and just do that the whole way around. There we go. And you should be able to just pick that up. And I like to just run my finger around the outside just to make extra sure that it's nice and clean. And I'll do the same on the inside, which I also smoothed out and trimmed a little. And there we go. We've got the back nice and finished, and we've got the front finished. So now it's going to go in the oven for a full hour at Primo's recommended temperature. Okay, and then while that's in the oven, I just want to use the leftover bits that we have here. And I'm just going to roll this up like so. Squish that together, because I want to make a bead. I'm just going to squish that up a bit, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to cut that in half because we don't need all of it. You can see how nice that looks on the inside. And then just choose whichever side you like the best. And I think I like this one, but you can see it's a little black around the edges there, so I'm going to actually just trim the edges so that we get a nice, clean, interesting pattern the whole way around. And I'll also trim off that end. Okay, then I'm just going to mold that into a round, and then we can make a rondelle from that. So I'll just roll that up. There we go. Okay, then I'll bring over a piece of paper so that I don't end up making too many fingerprints. And then I'm going to press that down, like so. Okay. And then I'm going to bring over a cutter and find the middle, like so. And then just cut down, like so. I'll pop that out. And I'm actually going to go from the other side as well, just so that both sides are nice and clean. Okay, then I'll pop that with our other piece in the oven, and then we can finish off when they're done baking. Okay, and here they are out of the oven. So now I'm just going to bring over some isopropyl alcohol, and we're going to give these a spritz. And I'm just going to bring over a wet wipe, and I'm just going to clean them so that they're free of dust and any debris that I might not want on them. Just give them a very quick clean. This isn't completely necessary, but I'm not going to be sanding them because souffle clay just doesn't really take all that well to sanding. I've found it's the clay's already kind of got a texture in it, and so if you sand it, it generally seems to mess that up, and so I personally just prefer to give them a quick clean. Okay. Then I'm just going to bring over some Renaissance wax, and I'm going to brush that over each piece, like so. Okay, and I'll do the same here, just rub that dry. Okay, and this also not completely necessary because it's not like we're trying to seal in anything. This is just to give it a little bit of a extra shine once we have buffed it. There we go. Then I'll bring over a buffing tool, and I'm going to buff this. And there we go, you can see it, that gives it a nice sheen. Go do the same with this one. Okay, and there we go. So now I'm going to bring over my cord. You can use any cord that you want, but I'm going to be using this orange and black suede. Okay. And I'm just going to take those. Okay. And now I always tend to get this the wrong way around, so let's hope that I got it right this time round. Nope, got it the wrong way around again. I always do that. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that. There we go. Then loop it through. Okay, then before I pull it tight, I just want to arrange it so that it's going to pull tight in the right way. Yeah. Okay, and I'll pull on the orange one specifically, get that nice and tight. Then I'm just going to grab these ends and we're going to pop them through our bead like so. Okay. Then we're going to finish off each of these ends. And I'll bring over a cord end. And just close that shut. Like so. There we go. And everything I'm doing on this side you will repeat with the other one. There we go. And a clasp. There we go. Okay. Oops. This part's always a bit fiddly. There we go. Then I'll repeat on the other side. Okay, and there we go. And here's the finished off end. But yeah, that's basically it. And you can see at the back looks quite nice as well. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, please do let me know in the comments below, and if you'd like to support this channel so that I can continue making videos, please do consider having a look at my Patreon or Etsy shop. Patreon, I post exclusive videos on there that you can't get on YouTube, and Etsy is where I supply all of my own tools and supplies, such as the stencil and donut mold that I showed off today. So please do check that out. And as always, I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.